Welcome to Megazord Radio. It's the show where we watch, recap, and rank episodes of the Power Rangers television franchise. I am your host, Riely, of course, joined by the wonderful, the beautiful, the British Nightster.
Hello, everybody. Wow.
Welcome
Mm.
to the program. Today is the day.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this. You know how long I've been waiting for this?
Probably since Green Candle Part 2, if I had to guess.
You would be correct.
Because today's subject, folks, is of course the 49th and 50th episode of Power Rangers, the two-part episode, Return of an Old Friend. It aired February 28th, 1994, Part 1, March 1st, 1994, Part 2. Both parts were written by Shel Danielson and directed by Worth Keeter, which is a name that I know from Power Rangers, but I can't get over how silly it is. And this might be his debut. Let me see. What's going on with Worth Keeter? Yeah, this is his debut. He sticks around for a while. So you're gonna hear the name Worth Keeter a couple times as the director, but this is his debut, it seems.
Seems so.
So shout out to the Keat, our
Hell,
good buddy the Keat.
the Keat. Yeah.
Keat. So folks, let's talk about it. Are you excited?
Oh, I am very excited. Are you?
Oh, I am very excited. Now we start off at the youth center. It's Parents' Day. That's a thing that exists. It's Parents' Day. And Jason, Zach, and Trini are there. Not a mistake this time. It's actually those three characters together. And
Yeah.
they're enjoying the party. Kimberly is not there. Billy is also not there. Parents start coming in. Billy's parents show up and they're like, "Where's Billy?" Or the kids are like, "Where's Billy?" And they're like, "Oh, you know him when he's working on a new invention. You know him. We had to write him out for a later plot point."
Yeah.
And
Otherwise, we
then
wouldn't have an episode.
exactly. And also then Kimberly's what I thought were Kimberly's parents, but then I remembered this plot line and realized it was Kimberly's mom and her maybe stepdad, maybe mom's boyfriend. It's never really addressed. Come in, and they're looking for Kimberly. And Trini's like, "I'll go find her." At some point, her dad shows up too, and then Trini goes to go find her for them. And then we go to Rita. Rita's like, "We're gonna fuck up Parent Day." And become become evil and good and defeat the Power Rangers. We're gonna make the Dremel monster. Oh, go ahead.
And I'll just, I'm making a Rita reference. How she always just goes,
Okay.
yes, in her Moon
Yeah,
Palace.
make me a monster. So she's gonna make the Dremel monster, or Finster rather, is gonna make the Dremel monster, which might be the first monster ever that doesn't talk. He just goes like.
Oh, I mean, are we counting uh Lokar? Because I don't think he talks.
Lokar spoke. He sounded just like Lord Zed. we had a whole conversation about it because it's that same voice actor from before he was Zed.
Oh, he just laughed.
No, he says like "I'll destroy the Power Rangers" or whatever. He says things.
My memory is awful.
He says some evil stuff. But yeah, I think this is a first. So Dremel is a monster who cannot talk, but what he can do is emit what they say is toxic gas, again with the toxic not meaning what toxic means. Because what this toxic gas does is not poison you, rather, it hypnotizes you.
Why can't they just say hypnotic gas?
Because it makes it sound like more evil if it's toxic.
Definitions exist for a reason.
Not when you're Haim Saban.
I guess that's true.
Especially if you're talking about the definition of paying your employees proper wages.
Yeah, sad as that is true.
So the big plan is that they're going to use the hypnotic gas to kidnap the Rangers' parents and then make the Rangers have to surrender to them, at which point she will destroy the planet. So putties come to attack the teenagers while Rita's working on her parents' plan. First, it's Trini and Kimberly, who do have a brief conversation that I forgot about, where Kimberly's like, "Oh, I'm sad because my parents are divorced. I don't even know if my dad's coming." And Trini's like, "Girl, your parents are both in there looking for you right now." And she's like, "Oh, really?" And they go back in, and then it's putty time, obviously. So putties attack. Trini and Kim start fighting them off, but they're having some trouble. Uh, Zordon and Alpha notice. They call Jason, who he and Zach step into the hallway, and they're like, "Billy isn't with us, but we're on our way." And Zordon's like, "I'll call Billy." I don't think that he does.
Yeah, no, because um, there's no scene of him contacting Billy. Billy just shows up later.
Yeah, Billy shows up at the party wondering where everyone is, and he doesn't seem to be like in "I have to go fight putties" mode. It doesn't seem like he knows what's going on.
No, he's like, wait, where is everyone? Like,
Yeah,
there's no urgency apart from confusion.
yeah, so the four Rangers who are not Billy fight the putties. And meanwhile, Rita sends Jermol. Jermol burrows underground, shows up at the party. Everybody starts freaking out because there's a strange creature burrowing through the ground. And then he shoots a bunch of gas and hypnotizes them and takes them away. All of the Rangers' parents have been captured, put into the dark dimension, along with Bulk and Skull, who I forgot to mention their parents earlier. I forgot all the Bulk and Skull shit, so I guess real quick to catch you up on what our intrepid duo has been up to. Skull is filming a video for Parent Day. And he starts filming, like I think it was Jason and his parents, and then like Zach and his parents, and then he finds his own parents hanging out with Mr. Kaplan, and everybody's like, "Stop filming us, Skull," and it's all a silly time. Bulk shows up with his parents, and they immediately all get gooped because that's how the whole Bulkmeyer family has a magnet in their heart that attracts all goop.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. They get goop.
Is Are they using some sort of filming technique? Because it seems like Bulk's mom is just Bulk in a wig and glasses. Like, this is really good casting if that's not Paul Schreier.
Uh, let me go to the cast things.
I'm almost certain it's not, because that would be ridiculous to pull off filming wise, but it was damn good casting. Okay, yeah, I don't see Paul Schreier as Mrs. Bulkmeyer. Let's see. Okay, a lot of these parents are not casted. Okay, there's no cast listed for Mrs. Bulkmeyer.
Oh, mother.
But
Okay,
regardless, that's what Bulk and Skull are doing. They're at the party when everybody gets captured, so they get captured too, along with, Principal Kaplan and Miss Appleby and such characters as that.
okay, Ranger Wiki.
I looked on
Uh,
Ranger Wiki. There's no cast listing for Mrs. Bulkmeyer.
yeah, there's an unidentified actress.
You're doing that thing that Crow used to do. I'm not gonna get as mad as you because I know your intentions. But that was a point of contention on the old version of the show. Is when I would say something I knew was correct, and then Crow would spend 5 minutes googling it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find like maybe different sources. See if I can cross-reference and get an answer for you.
Yeah, there might have been like somebody who posted about I was Mrs. Bulkmeyer, and then some weird obscure site was like, there she is.
Uh, Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any site that has the answer.
Unfortunate. Who are these people? Come forward if you were the parents in in Return of an Old Friend.
Yeah, like
Especially if you were Mr. fucking what is Jason's last name? Scott. I don't know who fucking Mr. Scott was because holy shit that dude was yoked.
he was jacked. Like,
Yeah.
bloody hell.
But regardless, all the parents are gone now. And Billy shows up at the party just as the parents are gone and nobody's there. And he's like, "What the fuck? What happened?" And then we go to Rita, and she's like, "Ah, Billy's there. We can hypnotize him now." And they do, and now Billy is hypnotized. And they send Billy in now. One little thing here. So they send Billy to get the dragon dagger, right? Which
Yeah.
does make sense. But why is he not also after the green power coin? Because I'm sure you can imagine in your brain, folks, if you don't know what's about to happen here, even that the green power coin might come into play, considering who we've already spoiled returns here. Why are they not after the green power coin? It seems a little silly.
Yeah. And not only that, but it kind of seems like a plot point that came out of nowhere. Like, I get that it's the return of an old friend being Tommy. I'm the Green Ranger. I get that it's a Green Ranger episode, but up until that point, Rita nor Goldar or anyone on the villain end of things had said anything about, hey, part of the plan is to grab the dragon dagger and destroy Angel Grove. It was just, nope, hypnotize the parents and hold them for ransom.
I think that was
Oh,
kind of a new plan. Like Billy happened to walk in while nobody else was watching, and they were like, "Oh shit, we can get Billy. What are we gonna do with him?" And it's like, "Oh, we can use him to get the dragon dagger, so we can have the Dragon Zord trash Angel Grove. Fuck yeah, let's do it."
true, true.
But regardless, so Billy is now after the dragon dagger, secretly under Rita's control. The other Power Rangers are still distracted. Billy teleports to the command center, turns Alpha off. And summons the dragon dagger, and Zordon's like, "No, stop." And Billy's like, "Fuck you, old man." He doesn't trash the command center though, so not quite as beefed up as the Green Ranger.
Yeah, he's not Tommy level brutal.
He just turns Alpha off and then steals the dragon dagger.
I'm not sure how
And
he does, to be honest, because he can just summon the dagger to his hands as long as he's in the command center. What?
yeah, I thought about that, and it's like, okay, so if they had maybe it's just the command center. Maybe you're right, but in my mind, I was like, if any of them can just summon the dragon dagger to their hand, could they not summon it to their hand while Goldar has it so that he doesn't have it anymore?
I'm thinking of it that way. Why couldn't they just go back to the command center and then summon it from there?
Yeah, yeah, even then, yeah, you're right. But yeah, so Billy does that. Meanwhile, Goldar does show up with the other four Rangers, and they do morph, and there's a Goldar fight with the putties also. And then Zordon calls them. They get looped in on what's going on with Billy and what's going on with their parents. They're obviously very distressed. But obviously, first things first, they don't want the Dragon Zord to trash Angel Grove, so they got to go to the Dark Dimension and go after Billy, which they can just do right now, I guess.
Yeah, they have a
Maybe they
teleport.
used their thingy off screen, and we just didn't see it because they had to build the
Maybe.
whole thingy to travel to the Dark Dimension before.
Yeah, but either now they can either just teleport there or they used it.
So yeah, they go there. Billy's handing the Dragon Dagger to Goldar. Goldar gets it. Then Billy is set free, and he's like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And they're like, "It's not your fault. Rita did it. Don't you start worrying about this. We got to deal with it." And then Goldar's like, I will do evil things, and you have to give me the power coins if you want your parents back. Here's an hourglass that we will only ever see one other time when it's empty. So why do an hourglass?
I have so many things about this scene I can talk about.
Oh, please,
One
Nightster.
one thing sticks out in particular, when I watched that scene.
What is it?
One of the first things we learn about the Dark Dimension was from when Jason had to fight Tommy in there, and Jason couldn't morph because you
No,
can't
he couldn't.
morph.
No. He couldn't morph because he didn't have his morpher. Goldar snatched his morpher. That's why he couldn't morph. He morphed when he got it back.
And that was in the Goldar fight. He fought Tommy when he was in the Underdark Dimension as well, and he couldn't morph
Yeah,
then
that was
because
while he was still stuck there. Goldar had to go fight the Power Rangers, so they sent the Green Ranger in to finish off Jason. He was still in that scenario.
I could have sworn there was something at some point that said you can't morph while you're in there. Like,
Oh, you
it
can
won't
morph,
take
but you got to have your morpher, and I guess Goldar can just like take it without you noticing. So that's a problem. But they didn't do that in this case because they were morphed when they got there.
like it wouldn't demorph you if you were already morphed and you went in, but you couldn't morph while in there was what I thought it was.
I think Jason morphed in the Dark Dimension when he got his morpher back.
I might have to rewatch it later just to.
No, and I remember too, because Goldar even says the exact opposite of that. He's like, "You could morph if only you had your morpher." Ah ha ha ha.
That's right, he did say that. And he waved it in front of him. He waved the morphine in his face. I remember that.
So yeah, there might have been some other dimension where they couldn't morph. There's so many dimensions at this point. Can't keep them straight.
Yeah, that was a thing that we said yesterday.
Yeah, well, a week
Well, not
ago for the
yesterday.
audience,
Yeah.
you're breaking the veil here.
And it was 2 days ago for us, but a week ago for the
True,
audience.
true. What are days? Not even real.
Days are just numbers.
So they leave the Dark Dimension. Billy morphs. The Goldar's summoning Dragon Zord, so they have to summon Megazord to hold off Dragon Zord. But Dragon Zord is pissed. He's like, "Why did you fuckers forget about me for 12 episodes? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
pretty
kick
much.
your ass."
I'm gonna kick your ass.
So they end up bailing on the Megazord. And they confront Goldar on the ground, and he turns the Dragon Dagger into a box. And that box is for the power coins. I think it's the same box where, hey, by the way, they've done this before. They've done this exact plot line. I think this might be the same box. I don't remember what episode it was, but I remember that the idea was they had to give him their power coins, so they gave him chocolate power coins. I remember that being the plot of an episode. So
Ah,
it's funny that we're going back to this well.
power coins.
That they were building chocolate sculptures in that episode, and that's how they got the idea. Was this Cosmic Fury, actually? No, this was Ninja
It was,
Steel.
yeah, Ninja Steel did it, but it also happens in season 2 of Mighty Morphin.
Oh, chocolate power coins? Okay, well, spoilers, everybody. But in this case, so let's review the situation. Yes? So Power Rangers, they're in a little bit of trouble. Their parents are captured. Goldar's like, you better give me the power coins or I'll kill your parents. Goldar. We're talking about Goldar here. Has Goldar ever kept a promise once? Why would they buy a single word that Goldar had to say?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a very good track record.
I guess like the idea they're trying to convey to you is they don't have much of a choice, but like what's the thing? Because, like, it seems like Goldar wants to do the killing himself, so they could just have easily have started ganging up on Goldar and solved the situation that way. Because he's not going to give you your parents back, and you should know that.
Yeah, absolutely no way is he going to do that.
Regardless, the Power Rangers convey about it. They call Zordon, who should have said, "You retards, he's obviously tricking you," but instead he said, "You have to make the choice yourself because it's about your parents." So these dumb teenage babies are like, "Fine, we'll give you our power coins if you give us our parents." Should have asked for the parents first, probably.
Yeah, that would
I
have
guess
made
then the
more
parents would
sense.
have. I guess then the parents would have seen them hand the power coins in. But like at this point, if you're not going to be Power Rangers anymore, who cares about the fucking secret identity rule?
That, and also, Goldar could have just pulled the old, well, how do I know that you won't trick me, ploy. Because technically they could get their parents back and then be like, lettable, and
That's fair.
teleport out.
Usually, like I'm used to more sophisticated hostage negotiation in my kids shows. Where like usually it would be that back and forth where it's like, bring them here first, but how do I know you won't trick me? Bring one of them here so we know you're serious. Like that would have been the next step. But the Power
Yeah.
Rangers don't even try such negotiations. They just hand in their power coins and they go one by one and they're like, "Oh, I'm sad." And Goldar's like, "Goodbye, Red Ranger. No more Pink Ranger." Just like one by one, handing in their power coins.
Some great
And
acting on this scene as well.
yeah, some good character acting. And Goldar's like, "You idiots! I obviously never was gonna give you your parents back, and you should have known that the whole time." And he has the power coins. He's like, "Nothing can stop Rita." And he goes back to the palace. Everybody celebrates their victory on the Moon Palace. The Power Rangers go back to the command center, or Zordon brings them there because they can no longer go there themselves, assumedly. Uh, and Zordon's like, "You did the right thing for some reason, even though this plan was totally stupid."
Yeah.
And he's like, "We found your parents. Here's them in the viewing globe, walking around like zombies in the dark dimension, which you also were just in and they weren't there."
Unless it's a different dark dimension,
There's two dark dimensions, actually.
which means, and that's another dimension to add onto our list.
Jesus Christ. So they're like, "What are we going to do? We don't have our parents. We don't have our power coins." And Jason's like, "Hey, we don't haven't got rid of all the power coins." And he shows the green one in his hand now. This is a welcome to Riley's false memories. This is a segment. I thought that's where the episode ended. That's the thing I wanted to spoil you for you next week, because I thought the ending of the episode was Jason being like, "We still have one power coin," and it just zooms in on the power coin and goes, "Go Green Ranger, go go!" But that's not what happened. There's one more scene. So we zoom into the green power coin, and then we see a mysterious man from the legs down start slowly entering the juice bar.
I wonder who this could be.
I wonder who it could be. And we just get real long shots of him not saying or doing anything besides walking, seeing him from the legs down. Then it pans up, and it's our boy. He's back.
Yeah. Uh,
He's like, "What the fuck?" And then that's when it goes, "Go Green Ranger, go go," and the episode ends.
it just ends with the Green Ranger theme.
So
Last
Nightster.
time we hear it, I'm pretty sure. And it was
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't think we hear the full song in this episode, unfortunately, in part 2 even. But this little cliffhanger thing is fun. Fun fact about Go Green Ranger Go, by the way. Do you know about the behind the scenes shit behind Tommy's return?
No, I don't.
So it was actually not originally the plan. Because when Tommy left Power Rangers, they were like, "This guy is awesome." this guy's gonna sell a show. Let's give him his own show. And
Holy shit.
that show was called Cybertron. Cybertron is what would eventually become VR Troopers. But its original form was it was just the one metal hero that the leader of the VR Troopers is based on, and he is Cybertron, and he is played by Jason David Frank. And Go Green Ranger Go is actually a reworked version of the Cybertron theme song. Instead of going Green Ranger Go Green Ranger Goes, it just goes like Cybertron.
I think Go Green Ranger Go is much better.
Yeah, much better. But yeah, they were gonna give him his own show. He was gonna be Cybertron. But then people missed him in Power Rangers so much that when they commissioned the Jew 2 footage, they were just like, yeah, we're gonna put the Green Ranger in there, and we're just gonna bring Tommy back, and we're gonna do something else with this Cybertron thing. And Cybertron eventually became VR Troopers.
Yeah, they made the right call.
Yeah, I think so too. This is actually so this is spoiling it, but this is not the last time that VR Troopers is supposed to come into contact with Power Rangers, but doesn't. Because I guess I guess they were already planning for the White Ranger, as VR Troopers was going into development, or maybe VR Troopers had just wrapped or it was about to wrap. And Brad Hawkins, who plays the same VR Trooper who has the suit that Cybertron was supposed to have, was going to be the White Ranger. Jason David Frank was going to be done with the show again. And then again, he was too popular. So they made him the White Ranger instead. And then in Zeo, the Gold Ranger was going to be that character from VR Troopers as played by Brad Hawkins, the same character. It was going to reveal that they were in the same universe, and that character was going to be a Power Ranger. But then they asked, then I guess some producer talked to Austin St. John, and they were like, we can get him back if we want. And they were like, fuck you, Brad Hawkins, go home.
My God.
So Brad Hawkins they almost made him a Power Ranger a bunch of times, and they screwed him over every time. Poor Brad. Because he was that was the voice actor. Like, they already kind of revealed it if you were a VR Troopers fan, because the Gold Ranger was voice acted by Brad Hawkins when he first shows up, and you don't know who he is. But then suddenly his voice changes one day, and then he's Trey, because they changed course.
Tray of Triforia.
Yeah, because they hastily wrote Ryan from VR Troopers out of the show. They had to replace him with, instead of him just being Jason the whole time, which they couldn't figure out how to figure out, they're just like, we're going to make him Trey of Triforia. And they accidentally invented the worst Power Ranger.
Second worst. But
He's probably
worst
better
at the
than
time.
Troy. Probably better than Troy, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Return of an Old Friend Part 1, so Nightster. Who is your favorite character? And don't you dare say what you think I was going to say. He was in 5 seconds of the episode.
The reason he's not getting it from me, I think for this part, I'm going to give it to Trini.
That's fair.
Like, she did quite a bit. Who was your favorite character?
Good question. There's another one where it's like the focus is pretty well split. It's hard for me to nail someone down. Shoot. I'm thinking. I'm brainulating in my cranium. I think I will give it to Trini too. Just because, like, in my mind, my go-to is Kim, because of her whole, like, emotional plot, which is still good, but I feel like a lot of that comes in part 2 after the conflict with the monster is resolved. And also a big part of what does happen in this episode regarding Kimberly's divorce plot, which, by the way, this is going to become the entire plot of season 3. So it's kind of weird that we're getting it this early. But yeah, Trini gave her that pep talk, and it was really sweet. So I'm gonna give it to Trini too.
Yeah, Trini was good in this episode. Now we've got to think about favorite scenes,
Drew,
which
what
I
do you
think
think?
I'm gonna give it to the Rangers giving up their coins. As stupid as it was, the acting for the Rangers, like showing their emotional side and getting upset. That yeah, I kind of have to go with that.
Uh, shit. I'm gonna give it to the opening scene because I always I talked about this before when Skull was doing Bulk World's Greatest Guy for that one school project. I like the silly sitcom plot where one of the characters is like filming a stupid documentary that nobody else cares about, and wacky shenanigans ensue. And I thought that was a fun way to kind of introduce the parent characters. So I'm gonna give it to that opening scene with Skull and his little home movie.
Yeah, and it's always fun to see these characters have real life kid moments.
Honorable mention to Lay Epic Tommy reveal.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Go Green Ranger, go go. I think my version's better though. I think it would have been better if it ended on that power coin and go Green Ranger, go go.
Yeah, I think that would have been a lot better.
But folks, it's time to talk about the next episode. In a minute or two for me and Nightster, but right now for you, because I gotta go eat something real quick, because I am dying.
Oh no, he died.
All right, I've got a popsicle because it's the only thing I didn't have to cook.
It's going to cook itself in this heat. Maybe. I don't
That's
know how hot it is
probably
over there.
true. Yeah, no, we are in very different parts of the world right now, and in general, always.
Yeah.
But part two, folks. And if I pause Nightster, don't worry, the editing will catch it. I'm gonna have to take some popsicle breaks. So we start off in the command center, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna get our parents, but we need the power coins back. How are we gonna do that? We got Tommy's coin, but like, how do we make that usable at all when Tommy doesn't have his powers?" And Zordon's like, "First, we must bring Tommy here." So they teleport Tommy, who still teleports to green, which is a little weird. 'Cause he didn't have his powers, so it should be like white and smaller, because that's how that works. But little plot holes.
Maybe it could be said that, the green power coin was imprinted onto his DNA, so there was that lasting essence, and that
Perhaps.
turned his teleport green. I don't know.
But yeah, he arrives in the command center, and he's like, "Zordon, what's going on?" And they're like, "Okay." There's they catch him up off screen. They're like, "Tommy, we will tell you now." And then we just cut away and then immediately back to the command center. And Tommy's like, "Okay, now I understand what's happening."
I get it now.
But he's like, "But how can I help? I'm not even a Power Ranger." And Zordon's like, "We might be able to infuse Tommy with my own energy so that it will make him to morph into the Green Ranger." And the Rangers are like, "Couldn't that kill both of you?" And Tommy's like, "It's a risk I'm willing to take." And so that's going on. Uh, they restore Tommy. Do we go to the moon at some point in between this?
Let me skim through the episode. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was loud.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear my popsicle eating?
No, the start of the
Oh, the
episode was loud.
episode.
We don't cut to the moon, but we cut to. Okay, no, we don't. That's right after the a command center scene.
Okay. So they restore Tommy's powers temporarily. He holds the power coin in his hand. Zordon like zaps lightning at him from his tube. um, and it slowly starts to work. And Tommy, this is like this is like one of the most iconic shots in season 1 to me. Is that weird like morph that he does when he's infused with Zordon's power, where the Green Ranger suit just kind of like slowly pops onto him in phases before materializing fully.
Yeah. Even if it's the crappy foam shield.
Yeah, it is the foam shield. That's the unfortunate thing about it. All foam
Oh,
shield this episode. Well, there's a little bit at the end
almost.
that's Sentai footage, but a lot of it is foam shield.
I was mistaken earlier. There's a very brief
do
cut.
we do go to the moon? Yeah, because I
And not
think
to the moon.
maybe it's even while they're explaining to Tommy the situation, they don't cut right back to the command center, but
They don't cut
there's just like
to the moon. They cut to Angel Grove, and it's Goldar summoning the Dragon Zord.
oh, okay. So yeah, he does a do.
Which is a
And
first. Someone, not Tommy or a ranger, using the flute. I think.
didn't Rita do it once?
I don't think she did.
Oh no, I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of when she uses Saba. That's a whole different Tommy weapon.
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely don't remember Risa using the Dragon Dagger.
So yeah, Goldar plays it. A lot of weird pitch variations on the Dragon tune today. There's like a slow one, a fast one, a medium one. They're just
I mean,
like fucking around with the tune, and they kind of go wishy washy on this. This is not the first time they've broken the conditioning, I don't think. But the show, I think, at first implies that the do is to summon the Dragon Zord, and then the do is to get the Dragon Zord to do things. But they never stick to that.
I think to cover the whole pitch thing, Goldar's got big meaty hands. He doesn't know how to play the dragon flute.
Yeah, maybe that might be. They only use the command tune once. Tommy plays it like I think maybe the last time he plays the Dragon Dagger in the episode is the command tune. Other than that, it's all do.
I mean, that is my favorite of the two tunes, so I'm glad we hear it a lot.
That's fair.
Do, 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 do.
I mean, I feel like the do is like kind of like an epic, like we're coming back tune.
Yeah, and they are
But
both
anyway,
good.
enough about do and do. We got an episode to talk about.
Yeah,
So Goldark has the Dragon Zord. Tommy's the Green Ranger now. Uh, and they're all like, "Oh God, Zordon's gonna like cease to exist, and Tommy is gonna run out of powers, and everything's gonna be bad." And Tommy's like, "We're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine." So they do that. Tommy's powered up now. The Green Ranger goes to deal with Goldar, and he's like, I'm gonna go putties. I'm gonna use them to kill you." And Tommy starts losing his powers as he's fighting. Which, by the way, I guess we can say this now because we all know that Tommy sticks around. That's not a surprise. But they have now written in a lore reason for why can't Tommy morph today. Because he does not have a lot of morphin power and needs to hold on to it for emergencies.
yeah. So now in the future, it's just why can't he morph today? Because he doesn't need to, and he has to save
Yeah.
it for when he needs to.
So Tommy's starting to run dry. Putties are beating him up. It's pretty rough. And then they're able to. Tommy's about to get beat, and the Power Rangers. We go back to the command center, and I guess they can boost the power, but it puts Zordon at further risk. But it's their only shot, so they boost the power. And Tommy fights hard and is eventually able to retrieve the Dragon Dagger to regain control of the Dragon Zords. The Dragon Zord does not destroy Angel Grove. So in retaliation, Rita sends Scorpina, and Goldar and Scorpina try to destroy the Dragon Zord together. But the Dragon Zord kicks they ass under Tommy's command, because he's awesome. And then Goldar's like, oh shit, I left the power coins unguarded. And we cut back to Tommy, who's like fucking dying. And he is able to just barely reach the power coins. The Power Rangers bring him back just in time, and we're back in business.
Yeah, we got the coins.
So Tommy collapses immediately upon landing in the command center. He collapses and demorphs, and he's in a rough state. And they make sure he's still alive, and then they're like, okay, we gotta fucking do a thing here. First of all, Zordon's gone. That's bad. What do we do about that? And they're like, hey, if he can infuse Tommy, what if we can infuse him with our power in our coins? And Jason's like, let's do it. I say we do it. The same thing he said about being a Power Ranger. I don't know if that's an intentional reference, but it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I say we do it and let's do it. It's a very Jason thing to say. He says it a lot.
He does say a lot about doing it, so maybe it's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
But they put their power coins together. They each say their dinosaur in the wrong order.
And they fucked the spell up because of it. No.
No, they don't fuck the spell up. Their power coins light up in their hands, and it shoots energy at Zordon. And Zordon's back, and he's like, thank you for not letting me be dead, Rangers. And so now the Power Rangers gotta go deal with fucking, Dremel, actually. Not Goldar and Scorpina. They just sent Dremel back down. And it's like, okay, now we gotta deal with Dremel. Let's morph. And they morph. They go to fight Dremel, which they are told if Dremel is defeated, the Rangers' parents will be returned to Earth. So that's a good thing. So they go to attack Dremel, but he uses his hypnotic gas, and the Power Rangers are not ready. And 4 out of 5 of them get brain controlled. Only Kimberly remains.
Yeah.
Which, that's when you know Tommy's coming to save the day.
The power of Boner.
So, yeah, the Power Rangers become zombies, and they're like, attack the Pink Ranger, attack the Pink Ranger. And she's like, oh no.
Pink
And then we go back to the command
Ranger.
center, and the power of God and sexual horniness awakens Tommy. He fucking rises from the ground with
Like Jesus.
lightning, like Jesus Christ. He is the Jesus Christ of Power Rangers, basically. He rises. He rises from the dead on Easter.
Yeah.
He's
Green
surrounded by
Jesus.
green lightning. He's surrounded by green lightning, starts floating, and Alpha's like, Zordon, what's going on? And he's like, he must have, when he touched the force field that the power coins were behind, he absorbed its power. And he wakes up. He's got power again. He's morphing out of here. He says the thing.
He said the thing. And then we get a Dragon Zord.
He morphs out of there. He says we get the Dragon Zord morph call for the first time in a while. And he jumps into the fray epically. And so obviously Tommy resolves the situation. The other 4 Power Rangers are free of control. They're all about to team up and beat the shit out of Dremel. And then Rita, of course, magic wand makes her monster grow. And then this is where a just very bad error happens. I don't know how this got past the editing team. So I don't know if I'm sure you noticed, Nightster, because this is really stupid. So they say we're gonna make the Mega Dragon Zord, and then they don't make the Mega Dragon Zord. They make the Dragon Zord in battle mode. or fighting mode or whatever the fuck they called it. Where it's just he's got the drill and it's only 3 out of the 5 Zords that he combines with, not the Mega Dragon Zord, where the Megazord just gets a Dragon Zord hat. But then they form the Ultra Zord, which is built off of the Mega Dragon Zord, which is just there. Which obviously it was supposed to be the Mega Dragon Zord the whole time, but some idiot in editing was like, "Oh yeah," and he threw in the fucking Dragon Zord in battle mode sequence, and nobody noticed.
Somehow I did not clock that.
Yeah, no, it was silly. So yeah, we see Dragon Zord in battle mode form, and then we immediately see that it's Mega Dragon Zord actually, and it becomes the Ultra Zord, and then they kill Dremel, which immediately proving me wrong about the Ultra Zord, which I am happy about. Because I didn't think the Ultra Zord came back. I thought it was just Megazord and Dragon Zord from here on out, but I was wrong.
Yeah, it's back.
So they return to the command center, celebrating the victory. Zordon's like, "Your parents are back and they don't remember anything." And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We're so glad Tommy has his powers back." And Zordon's like, "Well, not really though, because he's got some power, but it's not permanent. And unless we're able to somehow make it permanent, it could fail at any time. Tommy, will you take the risk to be a Power Ranger?" And of course, Tommy will take the risk to be a Power Ranger because he's Tommy goddamn Oliver. This is the
And also,
shit.
who
This
wouldn't?
is why I love so much, because like obviously we know what's coming. I love this so much because this is the type of shit that like proves Tommy is leader material, which eventually leads to him becoming the White Ranger. Because it's like there's no real need for him to be a Power Ranger. There are other Power Rangers, and he's at risk by continuing to operate. But he's just like, no. If I can be good, I'm gonna do that. Like he's just got a strength of will that is unsurmountable, and that is why he makes such a good leader once he makes that transition.
Yeah, because if I can help my friends, and that's what I'm gonna do. Like,
Exactly.
and they don't need me, but I can still help them, and that's what makes him Tommy.
Exactly. If he can do something, he's gonna do something because he's Tommy goddamn Oliver,
Yeah,
the Jesus Christ of Power Rangers.
Green Jesus.
So they go back to the youth center, meet up with their parents. Tommy, I guess, doesn't have parents, by the way. We'll find out he has an uncle later. I don't know what happened to his parents. Well, I guess his real parents are from fucking Mr. Trueheart's reserve, which we'll learn about in Zeo. But his adoptive parents, we just never see, or we never hear of them at all, besides a couple passing mentions. Why didn't they come to this?
And there's also Mrs. Oliver, um, who is his adoptive mother, who we hear about in one episode, and then she appears in the comic.
Yeah, they mention from time to time that Tommy has at least a mother, but we just never see them. And then we find out he's an ancient Indian, actually.
In Power Rangers Zeo, it's mentioned that he's adopted. And
So yeah, that's fun stuff we'll find out about later. But no parents for Tommy today. But Kimberly does introduce him to her parents after they have a little heart to heart, where Kim's like, "Oh, I didn't think you were gonna come because it was gonna be like awkward," and they're like, "No, just because we're divorced doesn't mean we don't still love you." And fucking stepdad just stands there and doesn't say or do anything.
I mean, probably a smart move on his part. That's their moment.
That's fair. It's just weird that that guy doesn't like talk once the whole time. Like, what is the relationship there? Does Kim even know this fucking guy?
Yeah, maybe one line earlier in the episode would have been nice, but
Because I guess it's not too important. Because spoiler alert: the mother comes back, the stepfather does not. There's a new love interest for Kimberly's mom next time we see her. So I don't know what this guy's deal was, and I guess we'll never know.
or maybe Kim's mum is just a whore.
Maybe so. Maybe so. So Everybody's hanging out with their parents. They all like are like, "Oh, we love you so much," and they're all like, "Okay, kids, geez, I know it's Parents' Day, but like, come on." And Bulk and Skull start a food fight, and everybody joins in, including all of the adults. I think Bulk throws a pie at Jason's dad, and that's what starts it.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think Jason's dad thinks it was Bulk's mum because he looks at her.
yeah, and then throws something at her, and then everybody starts throwing food at each other. And Mr. Kaplan and Miss Appleby are like upset for like a second, and then Miss Appleby's like, you know what? If you can't beat him, join him. And then Miss Appleby, in maybe the most savage move I've ever seen, takes Mr. Kaplan's toupee off, puts a pie on his head, and then puts the toupee back on over the pie.
Yeah, that made me laugh. That was a good scene.
And then he retaliates, and everybody's having a fun food fight. The Power Rangers kind of back off into a corner, and they're like, I guess everybody could be a kid sometimes, or something like that. And then it's ba 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 da ba ba,
I think the
we
line
end on a
was, "You're only as old as you feel."
only as old as you feel. Yes, they say you're only as old as you feel, and we get a classic ba da ba da ba ba outro where we're looking at all 6 of our Power Rangers because our boy has returned.
So good.
So Nightster, who's your favorite Tommy? I mean character.
Who's your favorite Tommy? Tommy, obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
how about you?
Wow, I wonder who it could be.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, it's the show formula. I've got to ask.
Yeah, it's Tommy goddamn Oliver. We all know.
We all know.
It's time for Tommy to start getting points again because I'm sure he's getting behind at this point.
Yeah, now it's just going to be Tommy, 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 Tommy. But
Okay.
Riely,
Now, okay. What?
what was your favorite scene?
Hmm. So much epic Green Ranger aura. It's hard to choose. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to give it to. I think I'm gonna give it to like the initial power infusement scene where like Zordon and Tommy are like, we're gonna do this, and the Power Rangers are like, but that's in trouble, and they're like, we don't care. We both want to save the planet. So I liked Tommy and Zordon both got a good character boost there. It was a well framed scene. I'm gonna give it to that. What about you, Nightster?
Very good pick. I'm going to go with the Tommy versus Puddy fight because I just love I just love my Green Ranger fight scenes, and that
Did Go Green
is.
Ranger Go play during the fight, or is it really only that little thing at the end that Go Green Ranger Go plays?
Let me go back and check. I think it did play.
We also forgot that for some reason the Megazord had like a completely different transformation sequence in this episode.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it?
Like we saw it rise up. We saw it from like a side profile. I suppose it's the same sequence, but it's from a side profile instead of us looking at the back of the Power Rangers as it like slowly as the like window slowly rises into the sky. Instead, we see the actual side profile of the tank becoming the Megazord and then slowly going up.
It was pretty cool though. And okay, it wasn't Go Green Ranger Go, but there was an instrumental in the background.
Of Go Green Ranger Go.
No, I think it was a different song.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember if it had those epic guitars from the Go Green Ranger Go instrumental where it's like.
So the dragon flute.
No, that I sung it bad. I don't think it's the dragon flute tone.
You just sang the dragon flute. Dow,
No,
dow,
it's
dow,
like
dow, 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 dow.
it's a little different. But regardless, so there you go. That's Return of an Old Friend, and we gotta rank it now that it's over.
It's gonna be high up.
It's gonna be high up. I don't think as much so as our other two. Tommy focused multi-parters. I think it's gonna go down a little more for me personally. Like this episode, there's good stuff, but like it's got that big sticking out sore thumb of why the fuck did the Power Rangers give Goldar their coins in the first place? What is this plot? Why would they do this? And why
Yeah.
why does Zordon say it's the right decision? It's like, I'm glad Tommy's back. There's some cool aura stuff, there's some cool character stuff, but I don't think it's quite as good as I don't think it's good as the other two Green Ranger multi-parters. I also don't think it's good as Doomsday. Maybe it's as good as a different drum. Even then, I feel a little weird.
If you ask me, I think it should go between different drum and Power Ranger punks.
Okay, so not as good as different drum, but better than Power
No.
Rangers punks. Okay,
That's what I'm looking at,
that's
yeah.
fair. That's a fair position, I think. So coming in at the new number 5, Return of an Old Friend. And that's it, Nightster. We're back. Tommy's back. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am very
I'm
excited to
excited
see.
for what comes next. What are the next 2 episodes, Nightster? Tell us while I fix the list.
The next 2 episodes are Grumblebee and Two Heads Are Better Than One.
Oh, I love 2 heads are better than one. It's a great episode. I don't remember Grumblebee. Oh, I do remember Grumblebee. That one's a little silly, but 2 heads are better than one is pretty good.
And you know what? I'm not seeing for any of the other episodes for the entire season.
What?
No more of a or of the. Like,
Yeah, true. No more of the. We're done with the of thes for a
yep,
minute.
for the entire season.
For yeah, assumedly for at least for the rest of this season. I don't know if there's any blank of the blanks next season around.
There probably is at least 1 or 2 in
For
the
like
next
a
season.
millisecond, I tricked myself into thinking power transfer was called transfer of the power.
Oh my god.
Because I was just thinking of thes, and I was like, transfer of the That's not what it's fucking called, Riely. What are you talking about?
There's 1 episode on here that I'm really looking forward to, but it's right near the end.
Which one?
Mighty Morphin Mutants.
Oh yeah, you've probably seen that one before, given your
Has,
proclivities.
I mean, I'm gonna send you a screenshot in DMs.
Oh, I
Keep
know.
in
I know what happens in Mighty Morphin Mutants.
keep in mind the red line underneath something means you've watched up to that point on YouTube.
Oh, I have a feeling you've got that red line going. Let's see the picture. Oh yeah.
I have the whole thing watched.
Kind of think of it, I think we might have watched Mighty Morphin Mutants together,
Maybe? I
like
don't
way
remember
back
that.
when, before the podcast.
That's possible.
Also, the episode Football Season I thought was just called Football. I don't know why. Maybe it was. Maybe that's a retroactive thing. Let me look it up. I could have sworn that episode was just called Football. No, everything says Football Season. I don't know why I thought it was just called Football.
And there's an episode called Foul Play, which makes me laugh because of foul play in the sky.
There's an episode that's just called Foul Play?
Yeah, it's actually the first one after next week's episodes.
Okay, interesting. This
In
Foul
2 weeks,
Play is on the ground.
in 2 weeks, we're doing Foul Play and Trick or Treat.
We gotta do we gotta do Foul Play in the water next season. We gotta have Land, Air, and Sea.
And then the Fire Nation can attack.
True. This is also our last multi-parter for the season. We're really winding down.
And it looks let me check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
I think this also might be it for the plot. Like, I think the rest of it is just Power Rangers, like, fun episodes. I think the next thing that happens in the plot is Lord Zed shows up at the beginning of season 2.
And the good thing is, it's all it's an even number of episodes of season 1 left, which means there's no having to record one episode or 3 episodes in one to
Yeah, so
make it work.
we get to finish on 2, unlike season 2, where there's a really good two-parter, and then the finale is a stupid one-off episode about Billy that we're going to have to talk about in its own episode.
A Billy focused episode to end off season 2.
Season 1 ends with a Zack spotlight. They didn't know how to make finales yet, so they're just like, here's a spotlight episode. Now the season's over.
Yeah.
But folks, thanks for watching Megazord Radio. Where can they find you, Nightster?
You can find me on my solo channel Nightster and on our collaborative channel Toku Thrill with Riely and some other friends, where we talk about Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, and Ultraman. So be sure to check us out there. And where
Yeah,
can they
check us
find you,
out.
Riely?
Folks, if you go to linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe, that's RIELY Cinematic Universe, you will find a wealth of internet content, so much that you will drown and die. There will be
Rest in peace.
no room for breath, because there's just so much content everywhere. Check it out. And until
Do
next
so.
time, folks, we're morphing out of here.
It's
Morphin'
morphin'
time.
time.